y'all. Well, where are we now? We are on another train ride. This is the Mount Hood Summer train. We're gonna go past some fruit companies, and right now our car is set up with tables and chairs, and we're eating our picnic lunch that we packed.
As we climb up this hill, you can look over Lower Hood River, and you'll see that it's, well, it would appear that it's a fir forest, mostly evergreen trees, but in fact there are poplars and there are maples in here. In the fall, they turn these brilliant oranges and deep dark reds. It's quite spectacular. It's like a fireworks display. Just gotta see it. We're about to make a very sharp right-hand curve. We're going to turn sharply right, crossing over Highway 35. This is actually the sharpest curve on the whole railroad. If you like taking pictures of trains, you can see our locomotive.
And we're making a sharp right turn.
Keep your eyes peeled looking down this canyon. Down here you might see black bear. You could see elk, deer, bobcat, foxes, coyotes, wild turkey, Sasquatch. This area was originally mostly a forest. Lumber companies came in here, they cut down the trees, and then they sold the land to farmers who at first planted berries, especially strawberries. Then they started planting apples. The soil is perfect for growing fruit. This is decomposed volcanic ash. And fruit trees and fruit bushes absolutely love this decomposed volcanic ash soil. It's very friable. It holds a little bit of moisture, but it doesn't drown the roots like clay does. The climate is also fantastic for growing fruit. During the summer days, it's hot. We had a very hot July. But it still cooled down at night. It still dropped down to the 50s and 60s at night. The fruit loves that temperature variation every day.
Right now we've stopped at
Pine Grove.
Pine Grove. It's a pear orchard, and they found out that all kinds of fruit grow really well here. Yeah.
After a severe freeze one winter when the temperature dropped down to 29 degrees below zero, they lost almost all the apple trees in this area. But they discovered that the pear trees survived the freeze. So they ripped off the old apple trees, they replaced them with pears. And now, Hood River area in this county, they ship out 90% of the pears in this country come from this region.
And they ship out over 5 million boxes of pears every year. That's a lot of pears.
That's a lot of pears.
But a little bit about the train. In 1908, there was a lumber baron that wanted to build a railroad to get his lumber across the Columbia River. So he was all set to build everything, and then all of a sudden he had a change of ideas.
That's right. Instead of going from the town on one side of the river and going straight to his lumber mill, he went to the other side because there was a lot of agriculture, a lot of fruit production here.
Right.
And he didn't want to lose the business of those farmers by taking out a lot of their land.
Mm-hmm.
So instead he built the train on the other side of the river, and now this is the only still commercially viable freight route that has a switchback on it.
Exactly, but also it's the only one of 5 trains that have switchback in the entire country.
That's right. So the switchback is where the train goes one direction, then it stops, and it switches and goes the other direction so that it can make it up a steep incline.
Right, and the steep incline we went up was like about 3%. Now that might not mean much for, say, a truck or car, but for a train, that's a pretty good bit of pushing uphill.
That's right. So let's go ahead and get off, and we will explore Pine
Ridge.
Ridge.
Whatever this place is called.
So the train stopped here in
Pine Grove.
I don't know why I can't remember that. Anyway, the train stopped here in Pine Grove, and right next to Pine Grove and the museum is also Hood River Winery.
Mount Hood Winery.
Mount Hood Winery. Thank you.
Yeah, this was one of the stops we were going to do yesterday on the fruit trail. Fruit Loop, okay. But they were closed, so we didn't know it, but the train was going to stop at this place, and
So we decided to come on in and do our wine tasting today instead of waiting until later this evening.
Right. The train is actually stopped because of the Pear Orchard, but we just realized that Mount Hood Winery just happened to be here, so we came over here.
And we're out on the patio enjoying a great view of, well, it'd be a great view if it wasn't so cloudy today, of Mount Hood.
Yeah. Well, we finished with our wine tasting, and they were okay.
Yeah, we're used to a little sweeter wine.
Yeah, most of these are more dry.
Dry wine.
But it's just personal preference, really.
That's right. So, well, we're going to go over and check out the museum now while we still have some time before our train departs the station and heads back to Hood River.
All right. So on a side note, they do have a sweeter wine. It's a Riesling. It's a dessert wine, so we're not quite into dessert wines. They're just a little too sweet, I think. There's a creek down there that's called Whiskey Creek.
Allegedly, the creek got its name when the local sheriff found a still out in the middle of the woods, and he broke up the still, pouring the gallons of whiskey that were in the still into the creek, and that's how the creek got its name. I guess it's a little bit of water with a shot of whiskey.
What did they? Oh, the next day the fish woke up with a terrible hangover.
That's right.
We are probably getting ready to do the switchback that we did earlier. It's a better view of the Hood River, which incidentally dumps out into the Columbia River.
We'll be taking a hike on the pipeline trail across the river in our next video, so stay tuned. This pipeline bridge is where we'll be starting our hike later.
Big rock. What did they say about the pipeline?
It used to carry water from a dam down to the city where there was an electrical generation plant, and it would generate water there, or generate electricity there. But because of the problems with fish and the fact that the salmon couldn't go upstream because of the dam's been taken down.
What did they do with the pipeline?
They made a trail out of it.
Pipelines to trails.
Yeah, pipeline
That
trail.
would give the phosphate company a great idea in Florida.
Hey, might have to talk to our friends.
Well, our train ride has come to an end.
That's right, we're back at Hood River Station. So until later, I'm Paul.
And I'm Sarah.
We're the Go With The Flow couple, and as always we say,
Okay, this railroad company has come up with something I think is kind of unique. I've never seen anything like this, so we don't know a whole lot about it, but we're just going to tell you what we know.
okay, this piece of equipment we're getting ready to show you is called a rail bike. So turn it around. So the rail bike is pedal assisted. It does have a little electric motor on the back of it that as you pedal, you can adjust it just like it was an e-bike. And the electric motor's down here to help you on the tracks. And you can go from here to where we were on the train and back. And the interesting thing is, once you get up there and then once you get back down here, they've got a system down here that turns it around. It rolls it up on there, they spin it around, and you can go the other direction.
That's at the switchback that they have that.
Yeah, they've got it here too. So you can pedal to the switchback and then turn around and then come back.
Yeah, I see it now.
So you don't have to pedal backwards.
Right. So I thought that was really interesting. They even have a place where you can store some picnic stuff for your baggage.
Pardon the noise from the train.
Well, that was a big fan keeping something cool.
Yeah.
Here they go again. Back when this railroad first opened, they used to carry farmers down from the mountain
To town.
to town. You know, they only made trips once a day.